All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vedic Numerology and the Yantra workshop. In Kali Yuga, the problem is that we have so much of impurity, we have so much of tamas, we have such a cloudy layer of the Shadripus around us that connection with the God without a particular device or a scientific equipment, it is very, very difficult. So, what I'll discuss today is the mechanism towards the celestial side and the mechanism towards the earthy side, towards your lagna on the Mother Earth. There are yantras that are developed by Narayan, Vishnuji, to give us the opportunity to settle the karma and connect to him. And those yantras are planets. And then he has given us some numbers, he's given us some vibrations, some patterns, some diagrams through which we can connect to those planets, and those planets further can give us a connection to Shri Narayan. That's the terminology. That's how we will be connected. Now, what happens is, suppose you're running a period which is a very bad period in your life, okay, and you come to me crying, Guruji, my time is really bad. What gemstone should I wear? What mantra should I do? See, all these gemstones, mantras, rituals, havan, yagya, these things are going to take a lot of time, right? But if you get along with these activities and principles and protocols and initiatives that you take, if you have a small device or a yantra with you which can help you connect immediately and take the message of that planet, the only problem you are suffering in your life is that you are not able to take the message of that planet. For an example, if Saturn is there in your life right now, you have a Sadhasati or you have a Dasha running, Saturn wants to communicate a message to you. It comes to you for a second, but since your Shadripus and desires are so high, you are not able to listen to that message. The yantras are the devices that will help you with two-way communication. Now, two-way communication is that this yantra will send your message to Vishnuji, right? Your message to Shiva, and also send their message to you. Once, if you have learned the technique of making a yantra, your life is going to be easy. To understand the yantras, you people should also understand the Vedic numerology. So usually you see a yantra, most of the time yantras are, of this kind. You know, there are so many types of geometrical shapes that are used. Triangles, we have lotus leaves, we have squares, we have circles, we have a bindu which is representing the devata, we have triangles which is representing the Shakti, the upward triangle and the lower triangle. This is Shiva and Shakti. We also see a lot of hexagrams. We have lotus mandalas, circles, outer squares. We have pentagram yantras, octagons. This is what you see. But honestly speaking, this is not that we are going to learn today, because they are complicated. They are difficult to make with your own hands. There can be mistakes. What we learn today is something like this. These are the yantras that I have learned. This is one of the sun yantras. This is the yantra that we will be learning. And how has this number come? 618. How is the addition of this number? How did what are the what are the protocols? What are the principles in making this yantra? How and why we have 1 here and 5 here and 9 here, right? This is something that I'm going to teach you. And before that, I'm going to teach you all about Vedic numerology. I'll giving you so much of information about the meaning, the devatas associated with numbers, Vedic numerology. Use them, experience the change from the day one, right? The moment you make a yantra, I can guarantee you that the effect, the change in your life will be immediate. It is not that, okay, you're wearing a gemstone, look at or wait for 3 months or wait for 6 months. wait for this. No, no, no. If you make yantra at the right time, if you make a yantra in the right muhurata, if you make yantra with the right energy, with the right mantra, right, which I'll be guiding you, the effect will be immediate. It is not going to be like, okay, you wait for some time and then probably no. It is the result will be immediate. So that is one promise from my side, because I have personally experienced it. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead, let me explain you what are the yantras that are used by the Trinity, which is Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha. So, first yantras, the devices, the instruments, right, made by Trinity are your Navagrahas, 9 planets. So, do you think these 9 planets are what? They are vibrations, they are energies, and we can't create them. They are created by the Trinity. It has come out of the desires of Vishnu, and everyone started working. And then the human body, it is such a yantra which is so beautifully created by Vishnu. These yantras will help you hear that message through a teacher, through a guru, or someone who is just walking on the road, look like a sage. He'll say, hey, beta, idhar aana, tum ye kar do. You do it, or aapke saath the things will manifest. Because that yantra will find a medium to give you a message. Because we, being humans, need proof of everything. We need practical things in our life. So these yantras create circumstances so that you can listen to the vibration, to the voice of that graha which want to reward you, or the graha which is giving you some problem in life. This is the only, see, you people will say, if you get a yantra, it can do bad in your life. No. The only thing is, it may not communicate with you, because if it is not made in the right way. If it is made in the right way, it will immediately start the communication. It will start telling you, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do. The most powerful remedy is the yantra. D9 chart, Chandra Kundli, and the Lagna Kundli. These are the 3 charts you should always look at to prioritize कि आपको कौन से यंत्र की जरूरत है. So what you need to learn first? Learn first the Vedic numerology, then you will understand the yantra. That's the most important thing. Now, when I talk about Vedic numerology, I am not going to talk about, okay, number 1 is sun, number 2 is moon, number 3 is Jupiter, okay, number 4 is Rahu. I'm not going to talk all these things. Vedic numerology, you have to understand, is a condition, is a theme, or is a phenomena which is associated with devatas. It is associated with deities, just like nakshatras. Nakshatras are never associated, or never, a planet cannot be a lord of a nakshatra. I have explained you in my nakshatra classes. What I will teach you here is understand number 0, number 1, number 2, number 3 with respect to shastras, with respect to rudras, with respect to adityas, with respect to different vasus, with respect to various dikbalas, directional, devatas, with respect to shastras, with respect to various activities that we do in the Sanatan Dharma. If you understand number based on these principles, that is known as Vedic numerology. That is what I'm going to teach you today. So I would also request you, when you make the yantras, you should also know the Hindi, geometry of the numbers. Like 1 is this 1, 2, ye 2 hai, this is 2, this is 3, how this is 3 is written, this is 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I want you to practice this. I want you to write down this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to 100. I want you to write this after you've done this, workshop. You should be proficient in writing this numerics in the Hindi. or in the Sanskrit, the Vedic, numbers. Very, very important. The first thing, that I want to talk about is the Shunya. Nobody talks about the number 0. The number 0 is, which is you. Aap hai number 0. Your lagna is number 0. So ask yourself who you are. Kaun hai aap? Right? So you are a small entity which has capability of becoming a devata or Indra or even a rishi or even a maharishi. See, when all your karmas become shunya, you are liberated. Shunya is the most important number in this world, and it is nothingness. Nothingness is basically the highest karma. Number 1 is always sun, because that's the first weekday. Number 2 is always Soma, which is moon. Number 3 is always Mangala, which is Mars. Number 4 is Mercury, the 4th day of the week. Number 5 is Jupiter, the 5th day of the week. Number 6 is always Venus, the 6th day of the week. Number 7 is Saturn, the 7th day of the week. Rahu is number 8 and Ketu is number 9 in the Vedic numerology. Number 1, the sun. Number 1 is also related to Saguna Brahman. Saguna is always saying, I am, I am. If you read Namakam and Chamakam, Shiva is always saying, I am or for me. Namakam and Chamakam is the highest prayer that you can do for Shiva. It gives you huge amount of wealth. It gives you what you want in your life. Number 1 is related to Shiva. Ek Alakh Niranjan Shiva. Sada Shiva, Mahadeva, the top, the highest level of Devata in this universe, even above Vishnu, is Mahadeva. Number 1 is related to any form of Rudra. It is one akshari syllable, bija, the seed frequency that we say, Om, Om, so that it is something that multiply things. Any affliction to the sun, you need to pray to Shiva. If you have any affliction to sun. Number 2 is Shiva Shakti. It is associated with moon, and moon is the dual principle, duality. Ardha Nareshwara. It is Brahman or Brahmand and Atman. Advaita school teaches it. Shiva and Shakti. Brahma and Saraswati. Vishnu and Lakshmi. Day and night. Pingla, the right principle, and Ida, the left principle. The sun and the moon. The right hemisphere of the brain that controls the left, and the left hemisphere of the brain that controls the right. Yin and yang. Cause and effect. Earth and sky. Life and death. These are the energies that are associated with number 2. Number 3 is the Sushumna, the third principle which balance. Agni balance the entire universe. Mars. The balancing force that brings you in the center is the Agni. It's a force that purifies everything. It is Omkar, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, the multiplying effect. It is exactly as the Punarvasu energy, number 3. So it is combination of Ida, Pingla and Sushumna. Number 3 is associated with the 3 doshas, Vat, Pitta and Kapha. Number 3 is associated with 3 lokas, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Number 3 is associated with the 3 types of rashis that we have. Fixed signs, 2, 5, 8 and 11. movable signs 1, 4, 7, and 10. The zodiacs I'm talking about, and the dual signs 3, 6, 9, and 12. Number 3 is associated with Vishnu. So the number 1 was Shiva, number 2 was Ma Parvati, number 3 is Vishnu. It is associated with the 3 steps of Vishnu, Vaman Avatara. Number 3 is the 3 phases of the day, morning, evening, and night. Number 3 are the 3 phases of your life, infant, young, and old. Number 3 is also associated with the 3 breaths that you take. Inhale, exhale, the out, and hold. Number 3 is associated with the Kal, past, present, and future. So gunas, number 3 is also associated with the gunas. We have sattvic gunas, rajasic gunas, and tamasic gunas. Number 3 is associated with the 3 primary metals, gold, silver, and iron. So number 3 has these many associations. In the Vedic numerology, when you talk about number 3 and you make a yantra of Mars, you are actually, communicating with these energies of universe. Imagine, when you make yantra of number 2, you are going to communicate and take messages of these energies. When you are going to make a yantra of number 1, which is Surya, you are going to communicate with the Saguna Brahman.